There are things narcissists do without thinking, and then there are things they do with full awareness and intention. And when they choose to hurt you deliberately, it's because deep down they despise the strength they sense in you. Keep listening, because if they have done even one of these things, it wasn't random, it wasn't impulsive, it was measured, calculated, and aimed directly at the parts of you they know are the most vulnerable. They intentionally seek out your emotional pressure points, and this is where their cruelty becomes impossible to ignore. A narcissist notices the parts of you that quiver when you speak. They catch the change in your tone when you talk about your childhood, the pause in your breath when you mention your fears, the warmth in your eyes when you confess what once hurt you. They store this information, not because they appreciate your honesty, but because they can exploit it later. In the beginning, it feels like intimacy. They ask deep questions. They listen attentively. They make you feel protected enough to unfold the parts of yourself you typically hide. You think you're creating closeness. They're creating a blueprint. And the moment they feel challenged, overlooked, or outdone, they strike exactly where it will leave the deepest emotional bruise. They never insult randomly. They target precisely the one truth they know will unravel you. If your fear is abandonment, they disappear just long enough to make you panic. If your fear is being unworthy, they pull away affection until you feel erased. If your fear is being misunderstood, they twist your statements until you doubt your own clarity. Whatever you exposed in vulnerability is now transformed into ammunition. This is not emotional clumsiness. This is strategy. It's sharp. It's intentional. They attack when you're already tired, when you're already overwhelmed, when your guard is down, when you're least able to defend yourself. And then, adding insult to injury, they pretend they didn't mean to hurt you. They look confused by your reaction, call you dramatic, or insist they were only joking. They warp your perception so you start questioning your own emotions. They want you off balance. They want you reactive. They want you doubting yourself, because the weaker you feel, the easier you are to manipulate. And yet, here's the truth they hope you never realize. They attack your soft spots, not because those spots make you weak, but because those spots reveal your depth, your emotional capacity, your ability to love and connect. These are qualities they cannot imitate. They harm you intentionally because your emotional richness highlights their emotional hollowness. Before we go deeper, if you've ever felt emotionally confused, depleted, or shaken after engaging with someone, stay with me. Understanding this can save you months or even years of heartache. They mock your vulnerabilities when no one else is there to see it. A narcissist keeps their most toxic behaviors reserved for private moments. In public, they often appear charming, self-controlled, even protective of you. But behind closed doors, when there are no witnesses, their real nature slips out. And this is when they ridicule the same vulnerabilities you once trusted them with. They remember the secrets you confided, the wounds you revealed, the insecurities you hope to overcome, and they twist them into subtle insults that only you would recognize. It doesn't always look like loud cruelty. Sometimes it's a smirk at something important to you. Sometimes it's a sarcastic remark designed to reopen an old wound. Sometimes it's an eye roll, a mocking laugh, or a quiet jab that would sound harmless to anyone who didn't know your story. But you know exactly what it means. You feel the sting because it's designed to hurt only you. It's purposeful, it's personal, and it's planned. They choose private cruelty because they want the damage to be invisible. So if you try to explain it later, you sound oversensitive or irrational. They prefer breaking you in ways no one else can detect. It keeps you unsure. It keeps you ashamed. It keeps them in control. With time, these tiny humiliations chip away at your self-worth. You start making yourself smaller around them. You avoid certain topics. You filter parts of yourself. You become careful not to give them any new ammunition. That's not love. That's psychological targeting. They want you to feel unsafe in your own vulnerability because your vulnerability is a quality they cannot handle. It forces them to confront the emotional emptiness they spend their life hiding. And the cruelest part of all is this. They mock you not because your vulnerabilities are embarrassing, but because your willingness to share them highlights the authenticity they lack. Genuine emotional depth threatens them, so they belittle what they don't understand. Their private cruelty exposes how deeply your sincerity reflects their internal void. They attempt to ruin your confidence with small but strategic remarks. Narcissists rarely wreck your confidence in a single dramatic blow. They prefer a slow erosion, a quiet dismantling, done with such subtlety that you often don't notice until you're already doubting everything about yourself. Their objective isn't just to hurt you. Their aim is to weaken your belief in your own worth, your strengths, and your potential. And they accomplish this with casual comments disguised as jokes or concern. Comments that land like emotional paper cuts. It usually starts with jokes that don't feel funny. They laugh at your goals, your talents, your achievements. They'll say things like, "Are you sure you can manage that?" Or, "There you go, exaggerating again." Or, "You really think that's impressive?" They downplay the things you're proud of, dismiss your progress, or shift attention away from your victories. Every time you feel hopeful, they plant discouragement. Every time you feel confident, they slide in insecurity. Every time you grow, they try to shrink you back down to a size they can dominate. What makes this tactic dangerous is repetition. One insult won't break you, but dozens spread over months will. Suddenly, you're questioning your decisions, your abilities, your appearance, even your instincts. Their voice becomes louder than your own. That's what they want. When your confidence collapses, you start seeking reassurance from them, and reassurance is something they will never fully give. They also deliver these comments when you're emotionally drained or vulnerable because that's when their words dig the deepest. And afterward, when you react or defend yourself, they insist you misunderstood them. They call you overly sensitive or claim their criticism was meant to help you. This confusion keeps you emotionally disoriented. But make no mistake, they chip away at your confidence because your strength exposes the weakness they work so hard to hide. Your potential threatens their stagnation. Instead of growing, they prefer to sabotage your growth so you remain small, uncertain, and dependent. They withhold affection and validation deliberately. A narcissist understands exactly how powerful their attention is. In the early stage, they may give you warmth, admiration, affection, or enthusiasm, just enough to make you feel valued and emotionally connected. But once they know you care, once they sense you're invested, they turn that affection into a weapon. They begin pulling away, not randomly, but with intent. This withdrawal is part of their method. They stop expressing interest. They stop showing appreciation. They stop initiating closeness. They become distant, cold, and emotionally unavailable precisely when you need support the most. You start wondering what changed. You wonder what you did wrong. You wonder why the version of them that once loved you seems to have vanished. That's the trap. They want you craving the warmth they gave you in the beginning. By withholding affection, they create emotional hunger. And when someone is starved, they work harder for scraps. That is exactly what the narcissist wants. Your effort, your over-explaining, your emotional labor, your desperation to win back their approval. The less they give, the more you try. The more they withdraw, the more you chase. This is conditioning. They also use withdrawal to punish you. If you set a boundary, question them, express a need, or simply fail to give them the attention they demand, they instantly pull away. It's their way of saying, "You upset me, and now I'll make you feel it." You feel the temperature shift. You feel them vanish emotionally. The silence becomes its own form of aggression. You cling to the memory of their early warmth, hoping it will return, but they give nothing back. Narcissists never withhold out of confusion or insecurity. They withhold because it gives them power. Your longing becomes their control. They deny affection not because you're unworthy, but because it is the fastest way to destabilize you and elevate themselves. They rewrite history to make you doubt your own mind. One of the most chilling tactics narcissists use, especially when they secretly resent you, is altering past events to distort your memory, your clarity, and eventually your trust in yourself. This isn't ordinary lying. This is psychological sabotage. They take real moments and twist the details. They reverse roles. They present events with such confidence that you start doubting your own recollection. It always starts small. You remember them saying something hurtful. They insist it never happened. You remind them of a promise. They tell you you're imagining it. You mention something they did. They suddenly have a different version, one that shifts blame onto you. At first, you defend yourself. You argue. You repeat what happened. You try to hold on to the facts, but they remain calm while you become more upset, more confused, and more desperate to be heard. This imbalance is intentional. They want you questioning your perception, and once you hesitate, even for a moment, they push further. They call you forgetful, emotional, or unstable. They tell you, "You always mix things up," or "Here you go imagining things again," or "This is why I can't talk to you." Over time, their confidence becomes more convincing than your inner truth. You start doubting your memory and relying on their version of events, and that is the psychological trap. The more you doubt your mind, the easier it is for them to control you. If they can manipulate your memory of yesterday, they can manipulate your behavior today. Rewriting history keeps you apologizing, defending yourself, and questioning your emotional reactions. They do this because real truth holds them accountable, and accountability is unbearable for them. As long as you are confused, they maintain control. As long as you doubt yourself, they remain untouchable. They attack your self-image because they envy you. Narcissists don't go after the parts of you they consider weak. They target the parts they wish they possessed themselves. When they harbor deep resentment, it's often because something beautiful in you confronts the emptiness inside them. Maybe it's your kindness, your strength, your creativity, your ambition, your emotional intelligence, or simply the way people gravitate toward you. Whatever it is, they see it as a threat, and instead of appreciating it, they try to tear it down. They chip away at your identity not out of anger, but out of envy. They want to dim the qualities in you that magnify what they lack. They want you uncertain so they can feel important. They want you shrinking so they can feel superior. They disguise their attacks as concern or honesty. They'll critique your looks, your talents, your personality in ways that sound reasonable but are designed to plant doubt. They'll offer backhanded compliments like, "You're attractive for your age," or "You're smart, but sometimes you really overthink," or "You're talented, but I don't know if that's your real strength. Each comment is crafted to erode your self-belief. They also compare you to others to make you feel inadequate. Sometimes they compare you to strangers, sometimes to people you previously confided about. They highlight your flaws while praising someone else's strengths. All said in a casual tone meant to seem normal, even harmless, but the intention is to destabilize your self-worth. The more your confidence slips, the more empowered they feel. They enjoy seeing you question your reflection, doubt your achievements, or hold back in moments where you should shine. It reassures them. It soothes their insecurity. It feeds their illusion of superiority. The truth is, the qualities they try to destroy in you are the very ones they secretly admire but can never embody. Their attacks are nothing more than projections of their own self-hatred. They feel a twisted satisfaction when you fail. A narcissist's reaction to your setbacks reveals their true feelings more than anything else. When they resent you, your struggles become their emotional fuel. They won't always celebrate loudly. They're smarter than that. But they reveal it in small ways. A smirk, an oddly calm reaction, a sudden boost of confidence when something in your life goes wrong. They don't feel empathy. They feel relief. Your misfortune makes them feel superior, whether it's a broken plan, a missed opportunity, a personal disappointment. They feel a subtle internal victory. They may disguise it with supportive words, but their tone lacks genuine concern. Their eyes reveal satisfaction, not sympathy. Sometimes they celebrate openly. They'll say things like, "I knew this would happen," or "You always aim too high," or "Maybe now you'll listen to me." These aren't predictions, they're triumphs. They want you to internalize their doubt. They want your failures to confirm their superiority. They especially feed off your emotional struggles, your sadness, your insecurity, your exhaustion. If you cry, they become impatient. If you're stressed, they blame you. If you're disappointed, they use it to lecture you. Your vulnerability inflates their ego. And when you succeed, watch how their mood shifts. Watch how they become cold, irritated, or combative. They hate your rise, but they thrive on your fall. This reveals the deepest truth of their psychology. They don't see you as a partner or companion. They see you as a rival. Your progress threatens the illusion they've built. Your happiness reminds them of their emptiness. Your achievements intensify their envy. They want your setbacks because it makes them feel like they're finally ahead, but this only exposes their insecurity and the fragility behind their arrogance. They try to isolate you from the people who empower, support, or validate you. When a narcissist secretly hates you, and especially when they want to cause real damage, their first target is your support system. They know that as long as you have people who love you, encourage you, or help you see clearly, they cannot fully dominate you. So they work quietly and consistently to cut off anyone who strengthens you. It starts with subtle comments meant to create doubt. Are you sure that person actually cares? I don't think they understand you like I do. They plant seeds of mistrust. They make you question the intentions of people you've known for years. Then they escalate. They twist conversations, stir misunderstandings, and create conflict between you and the people closest to you. They make you feel guilty for spending time with friends or family. They act wounded or distant whenever you choose someone besides them. And when you finally begin distancing yourself from others just to avoid their reactions, they pretend to be relieved, as if your isolation was your idea. They also try to monopolize your time and emotional bandwidth. They interrupt plans. They demand attention when you're with others. They create drama the moment you try to enjoy connections outside of them. And if you attempt to reconnect with someone they pushed away, they respond with coldness, sarcasm, or aggression. Isolation is their most powerful weapon. When you stand alone, your world becomes smaller, your fears become louder, and your sense of self becomes easier to manipulate. Your perception becomes shaped by their moods. Your confidence becomes tied to their approval. Your emotional stability becomes dependent on their unpredictable behavior. But the truth is this: they isolate you not because your relationships are harmful, but because those relationships threaten their power. Anyone who reminds you of your worth is a threat. Anyone who helps you see the abuse clearly is a danger. Anyone who loves you in a healthy way becomes competition. Isolation is how they weaken your foundation so they can break you quietly, subtly, and completely from the inside out.